recording right now?
Audrey, are we gonna start this?
I didn't know we were starting.
Yeah,
We were still planning.
let's just go ahead and start.
Okay.
So we're back with questions with Father Josh, or I guess it's just the first time we're doing it.
It's the
So,
very first time
so we're
doing
not
it.
back. We're just here to start. Audrey, why don't you just go ahead and let's
So,
read some
Father,
questions.
We talked about death a couple weeks ago at our Life Night series, and the teens had a ton of questions about death. And with it being October and Halloween season, we thought we'd continue on that topic. So the first question we have is, why would reincarnation not occur? Because I want to be a turtle. That's our question.
Wow. Okay, deep questions here. Obviously, that was probably Dela, not
Shout out, Dayla.
Dela. And good question on reincarnation. Why would it not occur? Well, just because we want something to happen doesn't mean that it actually will happen. But reincarnation is one of those interesting topics because it's this idea that we come back, right, as like different animals, like you said, a turtle, or a dog, or
A unicorn.
a unicorn, or if you don't, I hope if you liked insects, you could come back as like a cockroach. That'd be awful.
That would be gross.
Henry's hissing cockroaches.
His 30-foot snake.
His 30-foot snake. You could come back as one of those. But the idea is that God has more planned for us. That He doesn't want us to come back as something less than we are. He wants us to come back as something more than we are. And so God has something really, really great planned for us, to be in union with Him for all eternity. That this idea in the book of Hebrews is addressing this very topic, that we only die once, and that when we die, our goal is to be reunited with God. So,
Gotcha. So I'm not coming back
awkward turtle.
as a turtle.
Awkward turtle.
So we're going to move on from that. The next question we have is, why is death seen as bad when it's a natural part of life?
Yeah, so that's a more serious question. Why is death seen as bad? So there is this idea in the Christian understanding that we're not made for this earth. So even if we never sinned, we would still not be destined for this earth. We would still be destined to be with God for all eternity. But the reason that we die, and the reason that it's scary, is because the death that we experience now is not a natural death. It's a death that's shrouded in darkness and the unknown. And so it's almost like you have to take this leap of faith, and you have to trust in the promises of God. The reason death is not a natural thing for us. And we can look to the Blessed Mother to see what death would have looked like had we not sinned. The Blessed Mother had no sin, and she was assumed body and soul into heaven. And the Greek Church actually says that Mary simply fell asleep. That there was no pain, there was no fear surrounding that. She simply fell asleep. The reason that fear and darkness and the unknown surrounds death is because the fact that we have allowed sin to enter the world and corrupt our very nature.
Gotcha. So, if I'm going to die, and it's not natural part of life, will I remember my life then when I die?
Yeah, so of course you would remember your life. You would remember your life because you would remember all the actions that took place here on earth. You would remember your mother, your father. You would remember those people who were important to you in this life. And so you would have your memory. And we believe as Catholics in the resurrection of the body. We say it every single Sunday in the Creed that we believe in the resurrection of the body. And part of that is that our new bodies will be glorified through the grace and power of Jesus Christ. And our glorified bodies, we'll have our memories. We'll be able to know the things that we knew here. And so it's not something, we wouldn't be the same person without our memories, simply speaking. So of course we'll have our memories when we get to heaven, and we'll remember all those people who were important to us and made an impact in our lives.
Yeah, no, I think that's important for us as Catholics to be reminded of. It's like, we receive these memories, we have this life on earth. Like, God doesn't want us to just forget all of that, because then we would, in a sense, forget who He was during our time on earth and how we interacted with Him. So yeah, I mean, these are just some of the questions we've had regarding death. There are so many more. We want to encourage the teens. When you see Father or I at Life Night, at church, whenever, at football games, come ask us questions. This topic is not a closed-door topic. We only had time for 3 questions today. but we are more than willing to continue to take questions and having this blog post be a Ask Father Josh segment. So join us next month, and we will continue with some more questions asking Father Josh. And you can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook for those lovely friends that still have Facebook, and on our website, stpym.com.
So we're done now?
We're done.
All right, bye.